Hi, I'm Juliet, and I'm really looking forward to working with you doing some strength training work. Now, over the next 4 weeks, we're going to progress the strength training exercises. But week one, we're going to start really simple. I've got 3 lower body focused exercises and 3 core strength and upper body. Keeping it simple means that we're far more likely to stick with it. We're far more likely to stay on the program. And really, we need to be visiting these exercises ideally 3 times a week. Okay, it doesn't have to be a full hour. These are super quick. We've only got 3 and 3, as I say, so you can get these ones done fairly quickly. As a guide, about 8 to 12 repetitions. Okay, we're going to start with calf raises. Now, we're starting without weights, and I'm going to talk to you about how to progress. Arms long by your side, standing tall, and just simply lifting your heels straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Really squeeze into the back of the lower leg. Okay, lifting straight up, straight down. Try not to send your weight forward and backward. Now you can go a little more slowly if you need to. If you're a bit wobbly, put one hand on the kitchen worktop, one hand on the back of the chair, but ideally you're working from here. Okay, relax. So if you do have weights, that would be the way to progress it, is to hold a weight in each hand. And obviously that's going to give you more challenge as you lift your heels. Now from here, we're going to go into our squats. Everyone loves their squats. Everyone knows their squats. Basically, you're going to sit on the loo seat and you're going to hold the door shut. So now I want you to send your hips right out behind you and take your arms out in front. Now push into those heels. You should be able to wiggle all 10 toes and then come back through. So breathe in as you take a seat. Breathe out as you drive back up, getting into the big quadriceps, so the 4 major muscles through the fronts of the thighs, and using those glutes to drive us back up. I want you to feel heavy into your heels. Chest stays high, and try and send your hips as far away behind your heels as you can. Let's do a couple more here. I'll be honest, I get chatting and I've lost count. Let's do one more. Okay, and come back through. Nice work. Now, our last one in this one is our deadlift. Okay, so this is going to target the hamstrings, back to the thighs. Great for postural support, great for balance when we're going downhill, and to balance out because we've worked the fronts of the thighs. Okay, I want you to imagine you're holding 2 weights. You're going to hinge your hips back. Now your knees slightly bend, but don't overly bend. Back stays straight as you lower down and pull straight back up. So hinge back. Now, depending on what your hamstrings do, that will dictate how far into the deadlift you go. So if your hamstrings are quite short and a bit tight, you won't go quite so far. And I don't want you to bend your knees to bring you down there because it then becomes a squat. You've lost its purpose. Push your hips right out behind you, to the wall behind you. Take your fingertips towards your shoelaces. But if you don't get so far at the moment, so be it. We're also going to do some stretching. You've got lots of stretching, I know, stretching advice. So you want to think about maybe developing those hamstrings. So hinging back, reaching your fingertips down towards the floor and pulling back up. Okay, so how to progress those 3 exercises. If you don't have weights, what you can do is have a little pause. So let's come back to our calf raise. Lift your heels, pause here, balance from the center, keep the muscles under load, and then lower down. Okay, lift up, little pause, and then lower. Likewise with your squats. Come out into your squat, stay under load, little pause here, and then come back through. So that is one way that you can progress. Same with your deadlift. Push those hips back, 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 stays flat, little pause while you're loaded, and then come back through. So that is the way that you can progress those exercises without bringing any equipment in. If you do have weights, needless to say, for your calf raises, you are here, of course. For your squats, I would suggest holding 1 weight into the front of the chest, sitting out like so, and driving it back up. And then for your deadlift, 1 weight out in front of you and pushing your hips back and taking the weight down towards your shoelaces and then pulling back up. However, at the moment, I don't want you to feel obliged to go out shopping. If you've got a resistance band, these are terrific, okay? So For your calf raise, stand on the band and you need to be pretty tight. Okay, pull on it quite strong. And if you've got a very stretchy band, you might need to double it over. So you've got strength there. You need to have a strong resistance. Okay. And then you're going to lift your heels and to really pull against your feet as you press your heels down. And you'll feel the increased challenge there. But to start with, you might find you're a bit wobbly for that one. So see how you go. Likewise, with your squats, okay, taking a seat and pull against the band as you stand back up. So you're going to feel that resistance coming into your squat and pull against the band. And then same likewise with your deadlift, hinging forward and pull against the band as you come back up. So it's a really handy little tool if you don't have your weights, or if maybe you're away from home, you're traveling and it's not practical to take the weights. So those are our three lower body, our calf raise, our squat and our deadlift. So we're hitting the calves, we're hitting the quads, we're hitting hamstrings, visiting the glutes a little bit. Now we're going to come into some work for our core, for our center. We're going to start with what's called dead bug. Come over onto your back. I love this exercise because it just ticks so many boxes. Bring yourself onto your back, both legs into what we call the tabletop position, arms to the ceiling, flex your feet. You're going to take one arm overhead and one leg straight out and slowly come back in, and then the other side. Now what's really important here is that the back of the rib cage stays connected to the floor. I want you to think, you know where the zip is on the back of your running tights? Make sure that that zip doesn't lift off the floor. Likewise, that your bottom ribs don't lift off the floor. Now at the moment, if maybe you haven't quite got the connection there, maybe you haven't quite got the strength, put one foot on the floor and just do 8 to 12 repetitions on one diagonal and then swap it over, okay? Work slowly, breathe out to lengthen. Breathe in to return. Keep your shoulder blades flat on the floor. Think of that zip underneath you staying connected to the floor. Think about a big wide belt around your middle, pulling that belt in to give you support. Lengthen across the diagonal and come back in. Okay, bring your feet back down to the floor. And we're going to come over onto our front and we're going to come into a high plank. So come up into a square box. So still thinking very much about abdominal connection, but we're thinking of the whole core muscle group, legs, buttocks, back, abdominals, pelvic floor. Square box, take leg one out long, hook your toes in, take leg two out long, hook your toes in and hold it. Now you can hold it here for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, okay, that's up to you. Do not need to stay here for ages. What's far, far more important is the position that you're in, that you're not arching your back, that you're not hunching your shoulders. So better still, just come out of it. Better still that you go into it just for a shorter time, come out and go back into it. And do you know what's really useful is get your phone and video yourself so that you can see what you look like. And then it gives you a bit of an idea about your technique. Let's do that one more time. So in a square box, shoulders down, keep the length in your neck. Imagine trying to push the top of your head further forward towards the wall in front of you. Leg one out long, hook your toes in. Leg two out long, give your bum a little squeeze, wake those glutes up. Now in this position, try and pull your ribs up and away from the front of your t-shirt. Think about pulling your ribs upwards slightly so that you don't let your back sag, and then come back out of it. Now from here, just come into a high kneel and give those abs a little stretch. So if you can hold it for longer, terrific, go ahead, but don't feel obliged to. You're not failing. It's better to do a shorter hold, come out of it, have a release, go back into it. You could do that 3 times. And we're going to finish with push-ups because you think running, how much work is going on through the upper body, and we need strength through the upper body to help to stabilize the shoulder girdle, to help with our posture, and just to support us for when we start to fatigue. We're going to go into a 3/4 push-up. Again, you may be used to these, you may do full push-ups, absolutely fine, but I'm going to just start here. This is only week 1. We're going to start with a 3/4 push-up and we're just going for 3. Okay, so Bring your hips forward, so your hips are in front of your knees and your hands are slightly wider than your shoulders. As you breathe in, lower your chest between your hands so that your nose goes towards the end of the mat. And as you breathe out, push yourself away. Breathe in, keep it really slow. And as you breathe out, push away. And again, breathe in. Now pull those ribs again up off the front of your t-shirt and push away. And then from here, just have a little release. Okay, let's do one more round of those. Come back into it, find your three-quarter pose. Now, if this is too intense, get a little closer to your knees. More intense, bring those hips further forward. Okay, hands in line with, but wider than your shoulders. Again, pull your ribs up and in. Take a breath in as you lower. Breathe out, push away. Breathe in as you lower. Breathe out, push away. Let's just do that one more time. Breathe in as you lower. Breathe out, push away, and just release those shoulders by sitting back. So you've got your squats, excuse me, your calf raises, you've got your deadlifts, then plank, push up, and what we call the dead bug when you're on your back doing this. I would suggest if you could alternate. So maybe, let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you do your lower body, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you do your upper body. That would keep it really quick. You're talking 10 minutes absolute tops. And I would suggest 10 reps, 8 to 12, but look for that sweet spot of 10 and do 3 rounds if you can. And just see how you get on. It's a really great tool to record yourself and look back on yourself in sort of 6 weeks and see how you've progressed. But if there's anything there that doesn't make sense, you're not sure with it, you don't feel comfortable with it, or you're just not confident, then do please get in touch. I'll be really happy to have a chat with you about it. Let me know how you get on. Well done.